Hello, I'm in a different setting than usual because I live in a place where the weather is literally never pleasant, but it's especially unpleasant today. So I'm inside, hanging out, you know? But hey, thanks to this beautiful green screen setup, we can go anywhere we want. So, let's go... Put me in hell. Put me in hell for now. So, Alex Kister, man, I kinda fucked that up, didn't I? Basically 3 hours after I put up my video on the Alex Kister ordeal, he responded. Worst part? It disproved a lot of the evidence. I mean, good for him. Terrible for my video. It aged poorly. Very, very poorly. Like, goddamn. So basically, this is me clearing up everything and kind of giving a little bit of an update on the situation. So Alex Kister responded to the allegations that he was a manipulative little piece of shit, and, yeah, his response was genuinely quite well put. He organized his document similarly to the document containing the allegations, however he responded to each individual screenshot with something basically proving that this is false or saying that it's irrelevant. A few examples of some of the things that he disproved was the idea of the 18+ game night in a server with minors. Since it said that it was 18+, he actually intended for it to be with the server members 18 and older. He also claims to have never just been trauma dumping onto a bunch of minors. He just took help from whoever he could get. After a lot of the situation, he wasn't just being weird and exploitative of minors' will to help. He called out the accuser, Ven, on a lot of stuff that they claimed. For example, just outright saying, not in the document but in other places, about how she just wanted him to never make content again, and that she wanted him to go into hiding, while claiming on the document that it was actually just to warn others and help people. So obviously the situation got quite messy. Well, after the response was released, I was a little bit, I was iffy. I wasn't 100% trusting of the stuff. While I can't deny that Kister's response was well put, and I do believe that most of the claims made against him were in fact false, I can't shake the feeling that there is some stuff behind the scenes. For example, the moment these allegations came out, all of his voice actors quit. Now, of course, that could be because they wanted to spare themselves the controversy and they were quite believing, but at the same time, it was very quick. That's the thing. And it makes me think that there was something going on behind the scenes that the voice actors knew about, and now that stuff was coming to light, they dropped it as soon as they could. Again, it could just because they wanted to protect their reputations, but it still leaves a bit of a bad taste in my mouth. On top of that, the fact that all of this was with fans, it seems as though Kister does not understand power dynamics, and that also puts a little bit of an uneasy feeling in me. Since I originally recorded this video before I ended up not being able to put it up because the audio was not particularly good due to weather conditions, Ven responded to Kister's response, and I'll read a little bit of that really quickly. This is just like a little bit of an essay, so I'm not going to read the entire thing, but again, like I said in the previous video, I highly recommend that you check out the documents yourself. I wish I spoken up about how chaotic people became after the document released, and how some parts of the support groups were extremely hateful. I wish for people to speak their minds about the situation without the interference of opposing groups. And I wish it didn't evolve into including people that weren't involved. I was trying to rebuttal against misinformation, but it led to more people being harassed. And then, a little bit later in the document, from the beginning of our relationship as friends, even if it's hard to believe now, I always wanted to keep everything between us. When you hurt DB, which was the main center of the accusations, if you weren't already familiar, that's when I decided to go against you. My only proof was not leaking out everything that was told between us and still not wanting to spread photos of you around, but after seeing how others looked at my actions, I feel like the most evil person. It wasn't supposed to be framed as me using your fears against you. I wanted to provide as much context as I could, but it was too much information. Again, as hard as it is to believe, I was fearful that you could have taken your life during any of this. And I know that that doesn't make any sense because I made your worst fears come true. When I first came out, I felt like what I was doing was right, but after all this, none of my actions made sense. You gave yourself to me and I used it against you. If I was truly caring, I should have talked to you on the 1st of January. I could only wish you never spoke to me after we broke up. I'm not asking for forgiveness, I just wish for you to accept yourself. What I did to your gender identity was destructive and malicious. What I did to you as a person was excruciating. I hope you can forgive some of your friends when they were influenced by me the most. And I deleted their Twitter account. In reality, that was a unusually mature response that they'd given. But regardless, I don't think that they actually meant a good portion of it. I think that they damn well knew what they were doing when they released the document. And I believe that they had almost solely malicious intent. Again, though, that's just my personal opinion. Form your own opinion if you believe that Ben was completely genuine in that. Good for you. To me, it comes off as not so much. The situation seems to have come to a close, and Kister said at the end of his response that he does intend on, at some point, resuming Mandela Catalog, though he's putting the series on hold for a while to let things cool down. The situation was very messy. My previous video discussing the situation was messy and unprofessional. And overall, I believe that it's just a big, shitty ordeal. A lot of people are coming out as manipulators and groomers in the wonderful world of the internet, but it seems as though Kister was likely not one of them. So, good for him, and I'm interested to see what happens next. Like I said, the situation has still left a little bit of unease in me, but we'll see where it goes from here, if there is anything else that happens. I'd like to see if the voice actors come out and say anything about it, now that it's kind of been resolved, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you. Bye-bye.